I just finished Acolyte episode 7, and they really should just change this episode to be called the flashback series, because that's all this is. We've gotten 2 full episodes that are now just flashbacks, and half of this episode was just a recap of the last episode that was a flashback. Like, how? It makes no sense. Like, I don't understand what was going through their head, being like, hey, let's just do the story we already did for half of this episode to make it longer. I'm pretty sure they even reused some shots, which is just, it's so stupid. This episode, I don't see people giving it above a 3 out of 10. There's nothing good with this episode. I mean, yeah, there was Kelnaka, like, using his lightsaber to fight, but he was possessed then, and the witches were possessing him, and they just, it looks so stupid. I'm really at a loss for words here. Like, this episode was really bad. Like, I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 10. The fighting in this episode was terrible. Usually the fighting in the show is pretty good, but it was terrible. I mean, Torben had some really cool, like spin tricks with his lightsaber, like breaking off the arrows and deflecting them or whatever. But, like, Soul just letting the one mother punch him in the face, like, 6 times is, like, why? Like, why? And this episode just proved to us that Soul is incredibly weak in the Force. He's struggling to hold 2 bridges up that are holding the girls up, like Osha and May. How are you struggling to do that? Like, he's got to be extremely weak in the Force. And this episode was supposed to show us why Torben wanted to just off himself, because he just offs himself in, I think, episode 2 it was. But, like, why did he? It's so, I'm just going to keep rambling on and on about how stupid this is until I just run out of words to say, because I don't know what to say because of how bad it is. Like, when Kelnaka gets possessed by the witches, they all just kind of, like, turn into, like, this black dust and just float away, and then Kelnaka's bad now, and he's fighting them, and then I forget the girl's name, but Master Ndara, that's her name. She comes in, and then she uses the Force on Kelnaka's head and is, like, doing all that weird stuff, and then the witches, like, get out of Kelnaka's head, and then they just die. They just die. Like, that just, it's so, why'd they die? I don't know. They just got pushed out of possessing Kelnaka and then just dead. Fell over on the floor. So stupid. And then the other mother, Osha and May's mother, like, May runs out and is yelling, "Mama, Mama, there's a fire." And then the mother just turns into that, like, that black dust stuff, and then May turns into the black dust stuff, and then Soul just takes out his lightsaber and stabs her, kills her. Like, I don't know what was supposed to go on there. It's just, I don't understand any of this. It's just so confusing, and they're not explaining any of it. This show should have just been focused on Chimere. The entire series should have just been on Chimere, because he's the only good character from the show. And now Soul does have his really good moments, but this episode, it was terrible. The acting this episode from almost everybody was just, it was mediocre at best. I don't understand how you get this cast of stacked actors and then you flop this hard. How do you do this? I honestly saw it coming that we were getting another flashback episode. It just made sense because we saw Kelnaka fighting in the trailer, and it's something that they would do for this show, and it's really, really disappointing. And this show is just, it's so sad to see how bad it is. Like, Disney needs to get people who actually care about this series. Like, I don't understand why they don't hire the fans who know the series or know Star Wars better than Disney actually does. Like, why don't you hire people who know what the fuck they're doing? Because this is really bad at this point. I can't wait to see next episode, because next episode is the final one, I'm pretty sure. So I'm curious at how they're going to end this, because is it going to be another 30-minute episode and it's going to end on a cliffhanger, and then they're going to say, hey, we'll never see the story because you guys didn't like the show, so we had to cancel it. Like, bruh, you should have known that you weren't going to get a second season from this. This is the worst Star Wars project ever put out there. Like I said, 2 out of 10 for this. That's pretty much it for this video. I will see all of you next week to review Acolyte episode number 8. See ya.